Thank you very much for your introduction. I'm Yuemin Hou from Beijing Information Science and Technology University and also Tsinghua University. I work at the two universities. The topic of my talk is a generic function decomposition framework inspired by biology. There are many research or design inspired by biology, so-called BID. But my research approach is different with current BID. Current BID basically focuses on to search the working structure, working principle using the analogical knowledge in biology. But my research is to construct the design process by using the knowledge in design. In biology, it's an entirely different design approach. The basic idea of my talk is to use the similar frame to use a framework similar to the developmental process in biology to describe the early design process in engineering design. This is the basic idea, to use the framework in biology to describe the design process for engineering design. Basically, there are two transformations in the development of embryos of organisms. The first transformation is from a single cell to multiple cells. That is the first transformation from one cell to multiple cell information processing. The second transformation is from multiple cells to organs in the body. This is the second transformation. We can find a similar process in the engineering design. Basically, a similar process. First, we need to divide the main function into sub-functions. Something like from one single cell from a single cell to multiple cells, similar. And actually, this is not a structure, just a concept. So it is a concept processing, information processing process. Basically, familiar with this first transformation. The second transformation is from this concept, multiple cells, to the body, to the substructures, including parts and elements in terms of mechanical engineering. So we have the similar processes at a systematical level, of course. So it is possible to use a development process in biology to describe the process in design. The theory in biology is how a single cell can develop into multiple cells and develop into structures. Here's the theory in biology. Basically, there are two mechanisms to drive this process. First is induction. Basically, to simply put, induction means some new cells produced by the reaction between two cells. So new cells are induced by its neighbors' cells. This is the first mechanism, induction. The second mechanism is cell differentiation. Cells become specific cells, and one cells developed into a group of specific cells. This is the second mechanism, cell differentiation. Now we have many methods to for this transformation from main function to the body. We have many theories, many methods and the tools. Basically, I just list some main methods. We use some artificial intelligence technology, computer technology, something like the graphogramma, agent, neural network, something like this, to transform function into to transform functions into working structures. Basically, the process is similar, but the result, but basically the procedure is similar, but the transformation in biology is a autonomous process, but in engineering, it is basically partly automated process. This is the big difference. There's the autonomous process, there's the partly automation. Many people are talking about, so-called intelligent factory, intelligent manufacturing, but how? How it is possible for intelligent factory, intelligent manufacturing without autonomous design process, at least a partially autonomous design process. So that is my research goal, to try to investigate methods to make the design process at least partially autonomous. Here's the main idea of my present work, to investigate the function decomposition process by analogy with the developmental process of embryos of organisms. The purpose to do this is to construct a generic decomposition framework for product design in general. The contribution of the work is using a unique framework to describe the early development stage for both engineering products and the natural products. The framework is potential to promote partially autonomous design of engineering product. There are two hypotheses, and number one, the development of artifacts obey the same general principles as in biological system. This is a theory, Hawkins synergeticus, not I invented this theory. Number two, simple mechanisms can produce results more complicated than their starting conditions by repetitively applying simple rules on the initial simple state. This is a theory from cellular automata. According to cellular automata, even the universe can be produced by very simple rules, according to that theory. The methods of the presented work is to identify main features of the development process in biology and in engineering design. And the goal is to try to construct a decomposition framework. Here's an example produced by function means tree, a bicycle. The function of a bicycle can be divided into sub-functions, and these sub-functions can map onto parts and elements. I rearrange this figure like this. We can identify a feature. Actually, it is a common sense. It is a common knowledge for engineering design. Engineering system, mechanical, particularly for mechanical engineering, mechanical system, there are 4 basic units: driver, work part, motion transmission part, and control. This is the 4 basic unit. Besides these 4 parts, actually, engineering system also need a frame. For example, like the bicycle will have a frame. And also loading surface, the interface between the artifacts and the environment. So we have 6 parts for engineering system. Here's an example produced by Gamma. I have this from literature. The function is divided to sub-functions, and these sub-functions directly mapping onto the structures. So we can identify the second feature, which is common sense for mechanical design. Functions can be directly mapped onto physical components if there exists mapping between them. Here's an example from our basic book. It is a design of impulse loading test rig. Firstly, we have a group of sub-functions. Then we have to form up several properties to relate this sub-function to some physical laws. That is very important for mechanical design, for engineering design. So this is basically the process is similar with this process. So we have the third features. Functions are transferred to behavior in terms of property that is involved in physical laws or chemical laws. Here's another example produced by concept knowledge theory. According to this theory, actually design reasoning is a zigzag process between concept space and the knowledge space. Knowledge space is the is at the core of the design reasoning. That's place the emphasis on knowledge. We have the fourth feature. Professional knowledge is required for decomposing functions into detailed conceptual configuration at components level, at the structure level. This is very important. Here's another example produced by Gamma. We can see same rules can be used many times to produce a conceptual design of a product. So we have the fifth feature. Same rules are applied repetitively for design tasks, and the specific rules are required for a certain design task. This is the fifth feature. Here's the last example. Okay, this is from our base book. This is from Goyle's paper. There is two kinds of decomposition, horizontal and vertical. In this vertical decomposition, there is no close relationship between them. But for the horizontal, there is a close relationship. Now have a look on the cleavage and the induction and the cellular differentiation. Here's the process from one single cell single cells to multiple cells. Cleavage gives rise to specific cell fate. One single developed into cells potential to be skin, muscle, neuron, and many other tissue and organs. Here's the induction in the cell differentiation in biology. This is the process. This is the induction. This is the process for cell differentiation. One cell divided into a group of new cells with specific property. The induction in the cell differentiation actually it is a repetitive process. For example, one cell can be determined, can be produced by induction, and these new cells can be developed into specific new cells to cell differentiation. Then these new cells back to phase A. This process repeat, so one single become multiple cell. One cell develop into multiple cells. So we have the 6 features for both engineering process and the biology process. In design, we can formulate a similar design process similar to the development process in biology. Here's the process. Here's the basically same process in biology. Here's the normal design process, and this is the process from the information to the more detailed description. Actually, it is the initial conceptual design. Induction is driven by internal force, and the cell differentiation is driven by internal force, such as desertion. Desertion is important for this engineering design. Here's the representation by graph. This is the input. Here's the output. This, by induction, this relationship produces a group of new cells. This relationship produces a group of new cells, and new cells can be developed into another group new cells by cell differentiation. Here's the input. Here's an example how simple information develop into more detailed information. Here's an example of a snow removal machine. Here's the example to show the relationship. Different relationship produce different output.
2 minutes.
Yeah, conclusion for the work. Key factors to drive the transformation process from single cell to numerous cells in biology are used to formulate a generic transformation model. Induction cell differentiation repeat until conceptual. Actually, it is a very rough conceptual design. It's constructed. Further work to develop a computational process for complex system. Actually, the advantage to do this is to build a uniform transformation framework for both engineering and biological systems. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.